Greetings everyone. Enginovate will be discussing our accomplishments and challenges regarding our journey for EFPC 1000. Our principal goals throughout the unit were high distinction standards, creating a successful rover prototype design, and most importantly, develop our communication and collaboration skills in an academic manner. The unit consists of 4 distinct stages. Both the designer and contracting member will convey their experience for each stage respectively. Firstly, Hassan and I will be critically appraising our group's achievements and challenges concerning stage 1 of our group project. Additionally, we will be assessing these constructs objectively, discussing how they can be positively implemented into future successful projects. I will now be discussing stage 1 accomplishments. Stage 1 was our initial consultation into the group project. Instantly, we established an assertive method of communication where we were able to schedule meetings and discuss general queries within the scope of our contemporary feasibility report. It was imperative that Enginovate met deadlines. Therefore, we implemented weekly meetings to reach a consensus on desired goals and task completions. Working collaboratively on the same project derived numerous practical skills, which are strongly acknowledged in an academic and working environment. Despite a distinct academic and cultural background, we were able to establish a foundation where diverse perspectives would deduce unified innovation. Throughout the progression of the feasibility report, each member displayed proficient qualities in distinct sections and incompetence in others. For example, certain members were technically skilled designing the prototype by employing theoretical concepts. They were unable to effectively convey the ideas in the report, and vice versa. By working as a team, these diverse skills were synthesized into a strong document, both in a technical and communicated effort. It was also very important for Enginovate members to provide constructive feedback on their peers' work and effort, thus acknowledging areas where requiring improvement to personally reinforce upon. As a team, Enginovate was able to exchange their unique skills with all members of the group for future progression. As a result, Enginovate was able to present a meticulous feasibility report on time, evident with its outstanding mark. I'll be now passing over to Hassan, who will now be discussing stage 1 challenges and solutions.
Overall, although the Enginovate team worked together exceptionally well overall, there were a few challenges faced in the beginning. One of the challenges faced by the Enginovate team included an initial difference of the expected level of standard and personal integrity. This led to some group members having to take on additional tasks to ensure the report was finalized before the due date. However, this was only a minor setback and was resolved rather quickly through the team's effective and transparent communication. From this, the team learned rather quickly the importance of effective communication, applying it to all other stages. As a result, teamwork formed and proved to be extremely effective, allowing the other stages to also be completed with ease. Another challenge initially faced by the Enginovate team was a lack of time management. This resulted in high levels of stress due to a lack of time to reach the intended standard. This was not an issue for long, with all members agreeing that being ahead of schedule was the only way for Enginovate to reach the intended standard with little to no stress. Overall, learning the importance of having a common standard, time management, and working as a team early in the course allowed Enginovate to excel and receive the marks that all members were striving for. These lessons were found to not only apply to just this course either, and utilizing them in other areas of study, in addition to everyday life, proved to be valuable in any type of group task. Surely that's the one.
Hello everyone, this is Fahad Al-Dubayan, a contractor from Enginovate, and my colleague Francis is a designer from Enginovate, and we'll be discussing stage 2. In stage 2, Enginovate company members were split into 2 groups, designers and contractors, yet the split, there was still a collaboration amongst each other because we believe that sharing perspectives is beneficial for the future. For the contractors, we were obligated to construct a tender application report that is persuasive to the other companies to sign us for constructing their prototype. And within that, we needed to effectively communicate with them to clarify any uncertainties. On the other hand, the designers, all the designers of Enginovate met together to professionally and constructively critique the tender applications of the other companies to finally determine which company gets chosen to construct Enginovate's Mars rover prototype. And the tender application, there weren't many challenges, yet the outstanding challenge was that the designers were not responding in a reasonable time to the contractor's question. But as engineers, we strongly believe that we are obligated to find solutions. Therefore, we developed our planning skills, in which we develop a plan that takes in consideration the deadline and our schedules to finally make a schedule or a plan that will make us do the best work and meet the deadline even if any setbacks happen. To conclude, as a learning outcome, and since we faced communication issues, we now realize how important communication is. And we all believe that if the communication was more effective, we would have been able to construct a better tender application. In addition to that, in this stage of EFPC 1000 stage 2, we took another step into writing professionally, specifically writing in a persuasive and confident tone, yet not showing any arrogance. Leaving you now with my colleague Francis.
Hi all, Francis here. As mentioned prior by Fahan, I'll be covering the tender evaluation section for stage 3. So in this stage, the 4 of us designers had to each individually evaluate the reports of 3 contractors from 3 different tendering companies. And then we had to choose which of these contractors had the most culminating application to construct Enginovate's Mars rover prototype design. First of all, we evaluated their applications without personal bias, because if we did, then it would be unprofessional to both the contractors and the client. Also, we constructively analyzed and criticized them on how well they knew our drawings, design specification, risk management, tender evaluation, basically our feasibility report, if they understood it inside and out. As designers, we assumed that if they didn't mention any of these aspects in their applications, then they didn't really understand our design as a whole. And we less likely chose them to be the contracting company to construct our design. So moving on, we had a range of different communication from each contractors, and this aspect was probably the most challenging thing that us designers face, and it was an issue as well. So with one of the contractors, we kept emailing them, asking for initiation of communication contact. We just didn't get anything at all until the last minute. They just introduced themselves, and that's basically it. They never submitted in their tender application to us or anything. So our solution to that was we informed the client managers of this occurrence, and from the client managers, we got their tender application. So that's it. Moreover, in this stage, we covered Engineers Australia competencies, and that involved knowledge skill base and also professional personal attributes. So for knowledge skill base, both contractors and designers, we thoroughly understood the materials, tools, methods, and designs. For designers, we provided critical thinking on providing criticism and evaluation to these external contractors that submitted their application to us, while for contractors, they had to comprehend feasibility reports of other companies and acknowledge these ideas and find flaws in them. Meanwhile, for professional and personal attributes, since this assignment is an individual, we had to maintain our time management skills for this, and we had to involve formal language in our writing. And also, when we collaborated with fellow designers and contractors, we had to use our formal language when we talked to them. Moreover, when we had to reference to feasibility reports or reference to applications, we used appendices so that it would not be plagiarism and to show that it was not our work.
In stage 3, the Enginovate group would reform as contractor and designer groups, where the contracting group was required to produce a construction plan report and the designing group was required to produce a performance testing evaluation report.
In the construction phase, Enginovate contractors will be tasked with working with designers of another group to create a construction plan document. The task of modeling a construction plan in this unit exposed the contractors of Enginovate to great adversity, mainly due to the fact this was their first time creating one. Despite this, there were also other concerns that affected the drafting of the plan and its quality. Some could be even considered unavoidable, guaranteeing a loss of marks. One major challenge that affected the contractor's ability to write the report was the quality of the feasibility report. This was made apparent in the report of Mbatsi, who had to produce a construction plan using a feasibility report that did not contain a table of contents. It also lacked appropriate title blocks. It also didn't have unique drawing references or anything resembling a title resembling robust construction process. There was more, but this is what was relevant. Due to the designated feasibility report not having all requirements, it greatly increased the difficulty in the creation of the construction plan. The lack of a table of contents or unique drawing references made it almost impossible to properly reference any information in the construction plan. Therefore, what must be understood is external forces such as whether the designated feasibility report is up to standard can potentially increase difficulty in creating the construction plan, even causing guaranteed mark loss due to the aforementioned factors. Another major challenge that affected the contractor's ability to create the construction plan is partially due to external factors, but can also be classified as an internal factor, this being the contractor's ability to comprehend information. As explained, this is only partially internal as some feasibility reports lacked relevant information. Regardless, understanding the exact specifications and criteria desired by designers is exceedingly hard to understand. This is only made increasingly difficult if the plan gives too little information, allowing ambiguity. Despite the issues, there are multiple things that contractors learn that will be beneficial in future endeavors. These include, but are not limited to, communication skills. The development of the construction plan taught contractors that communication is necessary. Without communication, parts that make no sense would be left ambiguous. This phase caused contractors to communicate with designers of another company to better gain understanding of their own document. The development of the construction plan also taught contractors important comprehension skills to be able to properly find, understand, extract information to be able to be used in the construction plan. The development of the construction plan also taught contractors key time management skills to be able to complete the work.
Okay. The designers worked together to critically assess the compliance and accuracy of the contractor's construction plan report against the client's brief, the drawings and specifications to Enginovate's feasibility report, and provide a performance prediction of the prototype and accompanying payloads for certain landing scenarios and the damages that they would sustain. The performance testing evaluation report had quite a few similarities to the tender evaluation, where designers assessed the compliance and accuracy of contractors' construction report to Enginovate's design package in the feasibility report. Designers evaluated the contractor's compliance to the design package and the construction methods they employed to produce the prototype. The report also required designers to provide performance predictions for certain scenarios of the prototype and the payload may be facing during testing, where the Enginovate design team provided clear and extensive understanding of the possibilities that may occur for the different scenarios. This required the designers of Enginovate to have significant understanding of the prototype and the effects of physics acting on the prototype and payload to provide clear predictions of the outcomes. Although the task does not sound too difficult, it turned out quite differently, however, due to large discrepancies of the work contribution between the 4 designers, where half of the designers completed significant amounts of the report and the other half only began to contribute during the final days before the assessment was due, resulting in the group having to submit the report late in order to complete it. This displayed a poor allocation of work and resources, as 2 designers ended up doing excessive amounts of the task, as the work had not been allocated evenly. By practicing efficient allocation of work and resources, it would have made the assessments much easier and less stressful. Even though there was considerable amounts of communication between the designers, there was no assigned task to each designer, making it hard to hold the least contributing designers responsible, as the report was completed in a free-for-all manner, where one could do whatever part of the report they desired, rather than them being assigned sections to complete. This resulted in the designers of Enginovate to develop an understanding of accountabilities that should be held to create quality engineering practices that will be important in the workforce. The use of application was also learned due to the lack of systematic approach to distributing the tasks between the designers, which the designers of Enginovate now know the importance of to achieve a successful delivery of a project in a timely manner. There was also significant variation of effectiveness of team members, as half of the designers did not contribute to the team until a few days before the submission date of the task, resulting in them being quite incompetent in their approach to the task.
Hi guys, my name is Mohammed. Today I'm going to talk about stage 4, which is engineering identity and performance reflection. In this stage, I'm going to talk about the challenge I had faced, which is the first challenge, the difficulty to find subject related with my major. The second challenge was the time. The third challenge was skills required to communication. The first challenge was the difficulty to find subject related to my major. As an engineer, I need to know the best way to finding the subject, because my study is depend on searching. So I took a time to find my best subject, which is the new technology of building. I choose this subject because I think in my country they use the old way, and it's so expensive. And the new technology, it's make the building cheaper than the old technology. So I choose this subject. So the lesson learned from this challenge is searching. The second challenge was time. As you know, I am in different time zone now because we are studying online, and the webinar is also online. So when I registered in first webinar, I did not attend it because I didn't realize the difference in time. So I scheduled my timetable and I make it suitable to attend the online webinar. So that's for the second challenge. The third challenge was the skills required to communication. This unit, the AFBC unit, is based on communication with the. It's based on communication. So if we communicate effectively with the team member, also if we communicate with the tendering company, so I think I achieved this the required for this skills. The oral work, I think we did not do a lot of oral work here because we studied online, just we talk in Zoom or Facebook. That's all. Thank you for listening.